baby, we don't like Raw. Oh, baby, we don't like Raw. Oh, baby, we don't like Raw. Oh, baby, we don't like Raw. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. If Raw was my baby, then I'd give it away. Yeah, I meant it. I don't want that baby. Get that baby out of here. Raw, we don't want you. Get it going. Get it going. Get it going. Get it going. We stepped up and whooped everybody.
So that's the New Day.
That is hilarious.
Just boo. Now Austin's just booing. Xavier, sorry. He's just booing for no reason. If you go on Big E's Twitter, I'll turn the party lights off. Actually, should I turn it to Smackdown Blue? Should I just be representing?
Yeah.
There we go. So these guys, the New Day, for those of you who are not caught up on all of the drama of last night, are posting because Raw went under siege, which is one of my favorite Steven Seagal movies. But not my overall favorite. It's just up there, Under Siege. So I like the ones where he plays Casey Ryback. Is that Under Siege? Anyway, the New Day. Yes, that was. So the New Day. I think that's where Ryback ripped off his name, by the way, from Steven Seagal.
I didn't even think of that.
Casey fucking Ryback. That's what they always say. That they had to put that line in the movie. Raw was under siege by SmackDown. I'm sure we'll be talking about that in a little while. Building up to Survivor Series. But, of course, before we look forward to Survivor Series, we should probably also look back to the pay-per-view. Yes, there was another pay-per-view this weekend. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
When is there not?
Right? So we will talk about TLC, tables, ladders, and chairs. They only had one TLC match, and they didn't have a tables match, they didn't have a ladder match, and they didn't have a chairs match. They just had one TLC match.
At least they didn't have a stairs match.
Yeah.
And stairs. That was my favorite promotional advertisement. And stairs. They just had that guy throw it in at the end.
So here's my my take on the pay-per-view. I felt like outside of two matches, it was a glorified Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
It didn't feel like a traditional TLC that we're used to.
Nope.
I think a part of it is that we only had just one TLC match, and and now granted, a lot of things took place prior, and obviously the whole viral meningitis deal going around fucked a lot of shit up, and they had to make some last minute changes. However, those changes are what made the pay-per-view that much better, because we got our dream match with AJ Finn, which was a phenomenal match. And going in, you'd say to yourself, this is going to be the match of the night. There's no match that's going to be better than this one.
Right.
And then TLC broke the fucking house down. That match, with the exception of that fucking whole garbage truck deal, I mean, that to me was just a little, it just took too much time.
I don't know what the purpose of that was, yeah.
Well, it was to isolate Braun and get him out of the match and have everyone turn and whatnot.
Yeah.
But,
right, it was just, felt really cumbersome. Like, the whole thing was, like, it was really phony how the two Shield, the two Shield guys are in the middle of the dump truck or the garbage truck and they get out, but Braun Strowman can't get out. It's okay.
Then they go with crushing him.
Yeah, and then they crush him to death, and he hasn't appeared since. He's dead.
They went all.
King was an accomplice to murder, and
Next
he's
week.
running for mayor.
Vote for me.
Next week.
How is that okay?
Good, Amanda.
They need to have Hornswoggle come out dressed like Braun, and the music just go, Braun!
Give up Braun helium and have him do the Braun.
Oh. And the Braun can cut promos like on helium and backstage while Hornswoggle lip syncs.
I'm not finished with you.
Yeah, I'm not finished with you yet. Oh my God, that would be wonderful. So the picture I have up.
Look at Kurt.
So
That
happy.
is
proud dad.
when your kids like going to Comic Cons and cosplaying, but you don't get it, but you're still supportive of them. Like, that looks like a dad who just it was like, Dad, we need a third member of the Shield. They're like, Roman got sick. It's not going to look right with two guys. He's like, all right, we'll go. And, like, he gets his day pass to the Comic-Con, and they get to meet the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation. Dressed as a Shield. He just looks so happy to be there. That's wonderful. He smiled the whole time. Even when he was getting put through tables, he was just happy to be out there doing this thing.
And he did a great job.
He did. He was a little tired. The comeback was great. He was a little tired, which is why they had to take him out in the middle of the match. That was good. They gave him a breather, and then he made that Terry Funk Spear to 76 comeback, which is Terry Funk pulls that out every 7-8 years, or at least he used to. He did it in ECW a couple times. He did it at that one night stand. They had to put him out, and then he made the big comeback. So that was a nice little Terry Funk-like comeback. What would have made it was he was in the Shield gear, and then they put him through the table. But then he came back out to his music. He should have changed into the single.
That's what I.
Yeah.
I would have appreciated that.
Right? At least he could have done the straps. Yeah, Bruce Leroy. Speaking of Bruce Leroy, he was on Up, Up, Down, Down. The actor who played him, Timok. Which is
I got to be honest. I'm disappointed that Angle didn't have his separate entrance at the pay-per-view either.
I believe they're saving it. They're saving it for something. Whether they're saving it for Shane versus Kurt at Survivor Series, or they're saving the solo entrance for a solo match to get that big.
Well, now, speaking of that, I don't think you're going to see a one-on-one Kurt versus Shane at Survivor Series. What if Shane?
I think he'll be on the team.
What if Shane leads his team and Angle leads his?
Very possible.
And that'll reignite the Angle Shane feud that we had years ago.
Now, it would be interesting. And I thought they were going to try and go this way last night, but then I realized SmackDown would lose a top guy. Hashtag top guys. I thought it would be cool if SmackDown came out, and when they were doing all that shit, Finn and Anderson and what's his tits, the tall guy, they all come out. Gallows.
What's his tits?
I apologize to Luke Gallows for not remembering it's such a simple name. But those three run out, and then AJ flips, and he's Team Raw, and then it's the fucking Bullet Club against SmackDown.
That'd been fun.
But then AJ loses, SmackDown loses AJ, which they definitely.
But what if they do that, except they just kind of take on both sides?
Like during the Survivor Series match, AJ's on one side, the club is on the other, and they still kind of work together.
They break off to their own little faction.
I can see that. Because here's the thing. You don't have the Shield in the 5-on-5 match. They are against the Usos, which is going to be fire.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
The Usos, since the last time they crossed paths with the Shield, have improved leaps and bounds. Their characters are completely different. They don't do that Uso chant dance thing anymore.
Samoan.
They have real entrance music instead of just like racist drums. It's pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. The company that had Samoan guys eating fried chicken and talking gibberish isn't just a teeny bit racist?
No. Why would you say that about the W? Why would you ever say that about the WWE?
I gotta find a picture. Hold on a second. I have to Google something because there are two words that I can put together.
He's going back to a Survivor Series where the head shrinkers were eating. Jesus.
Yeah, and not just the head shrinkers. There was also a note. There's a lot of notable. For example, here we go. I couldn't tell Ryan to pull it up because then that would blow the gag. 2 words: Saba, Simba. That was in the 90s. That was the 90s. That wasn't even like, if that was like 82, you could almost be okay with it. I mean, it was the 80s, man. We didn't know any better. That was 92. 94,
how long did he last, though?
Long enough to get Tony Atlas out of his car and into a nice condo somewhere, I hope. God damn. I mean, to look like that, he better. I hope the contract was nice for him. Like to dress like that, and just to come out weekly. That would be like.
What is it infringing on? Like Native Americans or?
I don't even know.
I don't know. That would be like if every week I came on the podcast and said, "Hey, I just went to Olive Garden. Would you like to meet the ball?" Like, really? Come on, man. Like I said, I hope he got paid. That's all I hope, is that he made some good money off of that.
Probably not enough.
Yeah. The last.
I don't think there is enough money.
There's always enough
apparently
money.
there is. Apparently there is.
Or feet, for that matter.
Or feet. Oh, I like how we're not talking about TLC because nothing. Even like the Asuka match was okay. It wasn't like a mind-blowing, oh my god match. It was a good match.
They made Emma look pretty damn good too.
They did. And then the only other good match, I mean, not like anything was bad. Nothing was terrible. It was just there. Was AJ and Finn, and that was fantastic.
So you knew walking in the Demon wasn't going to take the L.
No.
I was so glad he didn't look like the pumpkin demon they showed on Raw.
Yeah.
If he came in like Jack O'Lantern from Knott's Berry Farm, I just wouldn't be into it, man.
That would have been if Bray had shown up.
Yeah, that's for Sister Abigail.
The Jacko Demon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Notice
what.
how Steve goes quiet when you say Sister Abigail.
Stingy Jack. It's the myth. It's the myth of Stingy Jack. He used to go around betting the devil for pints, and then he had to carve a turnip and put a candle in it, and he walks to earth because he's Stingy Jack.
And then he smashed the jack-o'-lanterns every
I went
night.
on Wikipedia just to make sure they weren't making shit up. This is it's a real myth from Ireland. Thanks, guys. You give us potatoes and a guy that carries around a fucking turnip. Wonderful contributions.
Watch it.
The funny part is after the Finn AJ match, the internet blew up with like, oh, of course, Vince McMahon had the two Bullet Club guys do the Too Sweet afterward because Vince McMahon owns Too Sweet and he wanted to stick it to the Young Bucks. I was like, come on, man, really? So AJ Styles went on Twitter and actually cleared this up and said, no, this was not the case. That it wasn't planned, it wasn't approved by anybody, nor was it ordered by anybody. They just went out there and did it. Because I don't believe this was the case.
AJ, it's Vince McMahon. Listen, I need you to take a 15-hour plane flight just to give it Too Sweet to Finn Balor.
Nope. Just to stick it to those fucks.
You lose, you're Too Sweet, and I pay you $50,000, or you're fired.
Like, do you think that should happen? It didn't happen. Like, he wouldn't make one of his. That's a new level of petty. If Vince McMahon would really order somebody to fly 15 hours to a different country just to give it Too Sweet to stick it to the Young Bucks, that is the petty world champion.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, how could you extrapolate that was, we're sticking it to the Young Bucks? I mean, I could have told you 3 weeks ago they were if that match happened, they were going to Too Sweet at the end of it. They do what I.
See, I would have taken a paycheck for that, though.
Anyone with knowledge of the Bullet Club would know that.
Both of them do it, and then the other guys do it, and there's really no connection, but there is. So you knew that something was going to happen like that. I had a very, very good feeling during that match. I'm like, regardless of the finish, somebody's getting it Too Sweet at the end.
And it was fantastic.
It was great. The match was great. I have no complaints, and the Too Sweet was nice and appropriate. If they just started doing suckets and super kicking everybody at ringside, then, they're trying to stick at the Young Bucks. But
just super kicked everybody around ringside. There's no
stand up Michael Cole and just keep super kicking him.
Even the Young Bucks themselves.
See, that would have been good,
something
though.
on Twitter.
That's the way they end the segment. The camera's on the ground.
Yeah, just everybody's super kicked, even the camera guy.
They put something on Twitter claiming that, it's a little convenient that they do this whole invasion thing. They were talking about Raw last night.
Right.
And then they were comparing it to, like, the whole invasion of the Bullet Club.
Right. And then
come the fuck on.
The Bullet Club put up a video.
Not that important.
They put up a video telling the McMahons to invade Ring of Honor, as if they have the time.
Yeah.
I appreciate what he's doing, and I appreciate that Cody and the Bullet Club are trying to put their name out there and call out the big dogs, and they're punching up, and the WWE will be punching down to respond to them. And it's good PR for them, even if the McMahons don't respond. But realistically, come on. That's like when Eric Bischoff was like, "Fight me, Vince, fight me." And I'm like,
Yeah.
he's going to show up at Slamboree. Let's play this in your head. It's 1999. Vince McMahon is going to show up on a Sunday to some godforsaken town in like South Carolina, wherever the hell it was, to go to Slamboree. Slamboree. It's not even Starcade. Vince McMahon, call me back when it's Starcade. Like, he would be so mad you didn't even call him for the fucking big show. He probably was insulted. He's like, "You want me $1 million to show up to Starcade?" He'd do Starcade, but he wouldn't do Slamboree. Fuck no. Want him to do uncensored.
Be like, come to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We'll show you a crowd.
Yeah, the next thing, like that is, so that never came to fruition, but of course Eric shows up on WrestleMania and spent years getting embarrassed while collecting a paycheck because he got, eventually, when he got fired, he got thrown into the back of a garbage truck. We're bringing this all full circle back to TLC.
Who doesn't get thrown in the garbage truck at this point?
Braun's been thrown through a truck, right?
He's been
Not just into. He's been thrown through.
Yeah.
Now, if they had, see, what they should do is they should have it be an 18-wheeler, and then he gets slammed through it, and then Mark Henry pulls the 18-wheeler away.
Don't
I'm the world's strongest man, and he's just pulling it away.
Kind of like an unannounced cameo where you just see him pulling it.
Right. You don't know that it's hooked up to Mark Henry. It's just whoever it is walks over to Mark Henry's like, "Come on, man." He's like, "Somebody go and get the wig split," and he just keeps walking. Yeah, it'd be great.
And he goes, "I got a lot left in the tank."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he's wearing his Kool-Aid jacket while he does it.
Oh, the salmon jacket makes it. What if they did another King of the Road match like WCW did in '94, but it's Mark Henry pulling the 18-wheeler, so it's not going as fast?
The match that got Dustin and Barry.
Blacktop Bully, yeah. Oh, they both got fired for gigging. Because that's a dumb idea. Let's just back that up a second. You're in the back of an 18-wheeler in a big, like, chicken coop on wheels, and you're going down a country road and you're hitting bumps and shit. I want to take a razor blade and stick it in my forehead and just hope I don't hit a speed bump or a pothole on the way and see what happens. Let's do it.
They hit a speed bump and the razor blade sticking in their forehead.
Jesus Christ. They would look like a bite taken out by a piranha, and it would... I couldn't explain that away. Dusty'd be on commentary. "I think he hit him with a bullhorn." He didn't hit him with a bull. He hit him with the cowbell daddy. No, he didn't hit him with the cowbell daddy. And Tony Schiavone would just no-sell. He'd be like, "No, I think he hit him with some plunder." And Tony's like, no, he just messed up. We're going to cut to something else while your son bleeds to death.
We're going to cut away because he looks like he's going to die.
The good thing is they filmed it the day before, so if anything bad happened, they could just edit it out.
Yeah.
It couldn't explain his absence on Nitro the next day. But, yeah, he died on Saturday. Well, how did he die on Saturday if he wrestled a match on Sunday?
Why?
And now we go to Mean Gene. He starts plugging the 900 hotline. If you really... Mean Gene Okerlund here.
Oh, my God.
If you really want to know what happened to Blacktop Bully and Dustin Rhodes, call 1-800-98...
Oh, come on. You all got to admit, you called it at least once.
Oh, yeah.
I was always too afraid to get charged that money. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess we have a roundabout way
Well,
of
I
saying
got charged like triple because I was from Canada.
Oh.
Wait a minute. You've lived in
Bad.
Canada your whole life? I thought you were like an import. Like you were...
Import.
Import. Oh,
like
my
I thought
God.
you moved from the U.S. to Canada for like love or casinos or tax breaks or something.
No, I moved to Canada when I was a baby. I was born in-
okay, I see.
Mhm.
You just got a taste of the freedom. All right, I get it.
I got like 3 days of freedom. Hey, wait.
Just a taste.
We're more free than you, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's very possible.
Good one,
It's very
Amanda.
possible.
Good one, Amanda. Very good.
Why do you think we keep telling you to get us all Canadian girlfriends?
I'm
Hey,
working
I didn't
on
ask for a Canadian girlfriend.
You could get one though if you wanted.
I can
Well,
hook that
Amanda
up.
That's on you for
and
not
I
asking.
are sister wives now. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
kind of on
Amanda
you. I
will-
was gonna say I don't know how Ben Hameen and your actual husband would feel about that, but I'm sure they would be up
I
for
think
it.
Ben would be okay.
At least for a discussion, you know.
Be okay with getting another wife. That's all it would mean to him.
I don't
Hey.
even know what number he's up to.
Amanda and I are sister wives. We got put on Twitter as number 223 and 224. We're good.
Wow.
He
Yep.
tagged us last week, 223 and
I feel
224.
like
So we're
you
like,
should
we're
have,
the
like,
sister
little-
wives.
Like little ID cards with your photo and like the number on it
Yeah.
and like his logo.
That's
Yeah,
it, Amanda.
don't
On the back of, we're gonna get Tag Me a Date, tank tops, and on the back we're gonna put 223 and 224.
Now, if the
Yes.
card got you a free order of Timbits with your Tim Hortons coffee, Amanda would carry that card everywhere, right? See, I know Canadian things.
I actually work
just
for a
want
donut
to-
company, so I get donuts
She
for
wants her
free
Count Chocula.
regardless.
Wait, what? You get free donuts?
Yeah.
Free healthcare and free donuts? Something's not right here. I feel like I'm getting the shaft somehow.
We
You
need a
are.
prime minister.
Damn right.
Oh, not to completely sidetrack us, but there's a company in Maine that makes regular donuts and gluten-free donuts, but the main ingredient is potato,
Ew.
like mashed
Ah.
potatoes.
Make
I would
it
try
stop.
I would try
That
it, and
actually sounds good.
they say
I would
it,
try it.
But
it
is it
makes like a
Is
texture.
it sweet?
Yeah, like like a chocolate
Yeah.
donut or like a glazed donut, but the dough
Huh.
or whatever has mashed potato in it.
Hmm.
So like it's
That
a
actually
different
doesn't sound
texture.
too bad.
I would. It's in Maine. It's a little far away, but I would probably give it a try.
I don't know where Maine is.
You don't know where
Oh
Maine?
Jesus!
is? Wait, you were born in the you had 3 days to learn where all the states were.
Okay, but I wasn't even.
Weren't
it
you
wasn't-
born in Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah, she was born in Hawaii.
She was
That's
born
like
on the
way
one that's
other
cut
side.
out of the map and pasted onto our map.
Yeah, so she don't know what the hell she's doing.
Most people think Hawaii is like 3 islands off to the left of Mexico. Maine is in the northeast corner. It is the northernmost state on the East Coast, I believe.
See, I mean, there's a whole bunch of birther issues. Born in Hawaii, went to another country, you know.
Oh, see, that's the Hawaii one's the problem, I think, because
Exactly.
I mean, why
Now,
is
you
that?
see, according to Jesse the Body Ventura, thank me for my service. You were born in Hawaii, but that was a false flag. Just like Obama, they falsified that birth certificate, and I have the proof that you are not an American citizen. You were born in Africa.
so Amanda was apparently born in Africa, according to Jesse the Body.
I was actually born in the same hospital as Barack Obama.
Oh my God.
At the same time, that would be ironic.
So-
You're way too young for that.
Oh my God, that is hysterical.
Wins part 2.
My favorite conspiracy theory is that Joan Rivers was the Obamas had Joan Rivers killed because she made fun of Michelle one time and called her a man.
Oh Jesus.
That's a wonderful conspiracy theory. It's like a 5-minute one. It's not nearly as deep because it's really dumb, but the people who buy it are just
Well, also because a lot
In
of other
Canada?
people said that about Michelle too. So
right. It's
Meanwhile,
like,
she had about as much propofol in her as Michael Jackson.
yeah, she did. Sure, she did.
In Canada, we have a conspiracy theory that somebody killed Avril Lavigne and then replaced her with somebody
I
who
just
looks.
saw that.
It's
I
like a
didn't look-
12-year conspiracy theory too.
It's great. I just read a whole article on that.
Make things so complicated.
And scene.
I
Is
bet.
she still married to Chad Kroger? Is she still
No.
married to Chad from
No.
Nickelback? Thank God.
She was just dressed as Maurice while someone else was dressed like the Miz for Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I saw her at Maurice's thing, and I was like, "How do they know each other?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a Canadian thing.
That's great that
They
they're
just
like
all know each other."
You know. That they're
She's
I
in the
should have
friends
been
and
invited to
acquaintances.
that.
It was
She's
a
in the
weird
same Lyme
crossover.
disease group I'm in.
Who?
Avril Lavigne.
What?
What?
We're gonna have to just back that whole thing up
Yeah.
and just go for it.
You're
You're gonna just explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
What? I
What?
said she's in the same Lyme disease membership group online.
So you guys chat about Lyme disease every once in a while?
Well, she's a huge advocate for it. It's her, Shania Twain, and Debbie Gibson. They run a whole big online chat group for Lyme disease support.
I thought she was just proactive about acne.
No, she's got. You know what? That's why she was gone from like everything for like 3 years, because she got Lyme disease really bad.
So that's where she died, and then they
That's
replaced
where
her.
they put in this
Exactly.
doppelganger.
That makes sense. Yep.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Follow the money, gorilla.
She couldn't find her
Are we ever going to talk about wrestling tonight?
Oh yeah.
I think in a roundabout way, we basically said that TLC was a two-match pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was a two-match pay-per-view, but it's all these things are related.
Oh my God!
because,
Teeth, hair, and back.
Yeah, this is the.
That's definitely an imposter. I mean, this one's
We need
hair is
to,
in the front.
Have just the body tie all the conspiracies to TLC together.
There we go.
Avril Lavigne contracted the same strain of viral meningitis that Roman Reigns did. When she died, they replaced her with a doppelganger. At WWE headquarters in the basement, there is a DNA facility where they have DNA copies of all the famous superstars going all the way back to even myself and superstar Billy Graham. They stole it from our combs. So they took our comb hair and they cloned us. And there's a clone growing of Roman Reigns, and it's ready to go. They just have to bury and burn the body of the original Roman Reigns so nobody will ever know. He'll have the same thumbprints, the same fingerprints. He'll even kiss his wife, and she'll never know the difference. It's a conspiracy.
Good thing, too, because we don't. The last thing we need is two Roman Reigns.
Oh, jeez.
Somewhere Vince McMahon just
They'll be the
orgasmed
tag
on a
team.
private
They'll be
plane.
the new tag team champions for both SmackDown and Raw.
Vince in his
Yeah.
corner office just came. He's
Yeah,
like,
seriously, he's like, he just gets on the phone. He's like, Kevin, I have an idea. Damn it, I don't know where it came from. All I can see are stars of David and two Roman Reigns. He's our Hebrew Hammer here.
I want to give him the tag team belt, both be on Raw and SmackDown tag team champs.
They've got the two. They've got the red belt, the blue belt, and then they have the New Day baby blue unicorn belt with them. And then they take the
They got the
NXT
world
ones. Yeah, they make the NXT ones into earrings.
Oh,
They can just
Jesus.
wear all the tag team belts. Two Roman.
They
Oh
steal on
God.
Cody Rhodes' ring.
They'd be like two Ultimo Dragons with all those titles.
With the Cruise of the Super Juniors titles. Oh, could you imagine Cody Rhodes sitting at home watching WWE and he sees two Roman Reigns holding up his Ring of Honor and he just looks around like, wait a minute, I just had that. And then he goes and checks. He opens the. He's like, no, it couldn't be. And he like picks up the jewelry box. He's like, should I even? This is silly. Why am I even checking? And then he opens the box and it's not there.
With the little IOU note.
It's just a little post-it note, IOURR.
See, it's really weird that your picture is still Avril Lavigne.
I know
Now I
it
keep
is. It's
looking at it,
it's
and I'm like,
complicated. You're trying to analyze Avril 1
Yeah.
and Avril 2 here.
It's a little different.
Could this just be attributed to like puberty and tanning
No.
and proactive, or is this?
Probably.
Impossible.
Well,
They
I
need
mean,
to scan. Now all we need is an iris scan of both of them, and that'll tell because you can't fake an iris scan.
the fact that she's not wearing a shirt in the second one means that it's definitely an imposter.
The iris scan would just be tricked by the cloning. Come on.
That's right. The clone issue would have the same iris, I guess.
See?
Mm.
Wouldn't prove anything.
Oh my goodness! All right, so we should look forward to Raw since TLC was so great. We talked for half an hour about Avril Lavigne's doppelganger. So Raw was. I had to go back and watch like half of it because I did fall asleep in the middle like an old person. But
Naps are awesome.
they really are. You just shouldn't try them at like 9 o'clock at night.
No.
What is awesome?
Naps.
Uh,
Because if you do that at a certain time of night, then you wake up and you're like, you're awake, but it's late,
day
and
is
you
it?
got to sleep. Yeah, you're not sure exactly what time it is.
What year is it?
Yeah, what year is it? There's so many
Ronald
factors.
Reagan, the actor?
It's your kids, Marty. We've got to go back.
What are they turned into assholes or something?
Actually,
One of them's
it would
dating
work
now.
now. It'd be like, what, the real estate agent? He's what?
I thought Raw all in all was damn solid, and obviously the ending was fantastic. We'll get to
The opening was
I thought
excellent.
the-
and
yeah,
ending was excellent.
good too. Yeah.
The middle was kind of like, eh. It got to like a point, I guess, when like football was really big or popular. I don't know how it works there,
Yeah.
but there was a point where it was lagging. But then the ending was like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They try and get people.
The
Go ahead, man.
women's the leader.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the Bachelor.
Foxy.
What does the fox say?
Ugh.
Hey, man, she got it done. She complained, I haven't had a T-shirt in 10 years. Goddamn,
Yeah.
she got a T-shirt. Good for her.
Mhm.
So she's addressing things, and I think she's gotten better as a wrestler.
Oh
She's got
yeah,
a-
not saying
got a
that
good
she's
character.
terrible.
And she's
You know,
great
she-
at playing crazy.
Oh, she's great at playing crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
don't
love
look
that.
like my dad.
My favorite one was when she just screamed Cedric for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You can't break up with me, Cedric. She even said, I don't know why she said it like that. You can't break up with me with a question mark at the end.
And,
You can't break
Yeah,
up with
like-
me.
and to think the first time we saw her, she was the wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero.
All right, you were both talking at the same
Right.
time. I couldn't make out
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I was saying she. Go ahead.
No, I said one than the other. Go at you.
She the first time we saw Alicia Fox was she was the wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero.
See,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
she also
Edge made out
danced
with her.
She danced with DJ Gabriel. If anybody remembers DJ
Yes.
Gabriel
Oh,
from ECW.
Oh my God.
the fucking stupid ECW dancing gimmick.
So here's a question.
Couldn't resist the boo.
Here's a question. So we have this invasion. It was fucking great, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck was Brock? He was in the building, obviously.
Brock
He's
didn't
like-
care.
He's
How
like,
do
that's
you
that's
not
none
have
of,
your
none of
ch-
my concern.
He did his segment and then he leaves.
He's not a team player. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure he already left by that point.
Yeah, I'm
Realistic.
sure he left. He like ran out of the ring. Did you not see that?
Well, I
He's
like.
like,
And he's not in,
Maybe
Bye.
he's not going to be involved in the 5-on-5.
Mm-mm.
No, he's
Because
only
he's fighting Jinder Mahal.
Or,
I love that.
Is that?
My favorite was the way Paul Heyman put it. I'm gonna find a clip of that.
Heyman ripped Jinder, man.
He was
Heyman
amazing.
Paul Heyman was on fire last night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Always on
definitely.
fire.
Oh, he called him a consolation prize champion.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
It was brilliant.
Ugh.
Amanda's going to have that whole segment mesmerized because it took everything about Jinder Mahal that she's been thinking for the last 6 months, and he just did it.
Jinder's like the only Canadian wrestler that sucks.
I know, right? That's why I'm like,
What? Wow.
I'm
Oh,
kind of like
man.
happy that he's like affiliating himself with India. Like, don't say you're from Canada anymore. We don't want you.
We don't want
Wow.
No.
Damn.
Okay, Amanda. Here's a choice, Amanda. Who would you rather have, Jinder Mahal or Justin Bieber?
Baby, 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 oh, like baby.
I guess
baby,
I'm gonna have to go with Justin Bieber.
Gonna rename that song Maharaj.
She chose the
Yeah.
beads.
Speaking of,
She
yeah, I
chose
mean, we
Bieber.
should address that. She chose Justin Bieber. I mean, I guess if you had to pick one of the two disgraces of Canada, you would pick Justin Bieber.
I'd go with Celine Dion, but that's me.
Hey, he is not a disgrace.
Wow, he just said it. That's not
Treasure.
even right.
I am the greatest singer.
Celine Dion's the best.
She is the best.
Uh,
Yeah,
She's
I
like
love
my
her.
She's my drunk go-to karaoke.
You know, near, far, wherever you are.
We're gonna have a segment that's just Eric sincerely reading lines from pop songs.
Well, it's like, wasn't that Natalia's gimmick for a little bit?
Did she just recite pop songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sang them.
She also had a fucking gimmick where she was farting.
Yo, that was the worst. How do you handle that phone call?
That is terrible.
Hey, Natty.
Yeah.
You're gonna fart. It's gonna be hilarious.
No. Can we rethink?
No rethinking it. You're just gonna go out there and Kevin's gonna hit the fart button. It's gonna play on the PA. Everybody, the guy in the parking lot's gonna hear it. You're gonna be farting your ass off. Have fun on Smackdown.
Oh my god.
Even if I was 5, I would have been, that's fucking stupid.
Right? That is so rude. Apparently farts are really funny in Canada.
Yeah, I saw the documentary.
We've lost Amanda due to fart
Amanda,
jokes.
are you breathing?
Just fart jokes are apparently very, very funny to her.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh boy.
I just is anyone else picturing Brock F5ing both of the Singh brothers at the exact same time?
He's going into like the 100 section. He's just gonna toss them. Speaking of Paul Heyman, I need to play a little soundbite from Paul Heyman.
The make-believe Maharaja.
Look at Amanda.
I appreciate the rules.
Everybody. Yeah, that's the way he decided to talk about gender.
The make-believe Maharaja.
Oh, I'm proud of
amazing.
And then Brock just laughs. It's the best.
Yeah.
Is that? It's
Well, how
like,
do you not? It's fucking hilarious.
I would want that as a ringtone, man.
I know. I think I want that. as a
Every time your
ringtone.
phone rings, your phone does that. That would be amazing.
How do I
I thought
do
you
that?
didn't like. People are gonna be like, "We thought you didn't like Jinder Mahal." She's like, "No. This is different."
I'll have to
This
say
is
the
different.
make
This is
believe.
great.
Wait.
That's a wonderful job by Paul Heyman. The only thing is, it does kind of treat Jinder like a make-believe Maharaja and a consolation prize champion and all that. It's kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't really it doesn't do Brock any good to beat that guy.
Well, this match does nothing for Jinder because there's no way Jinder's beating Brock.
Oh, really? You mean you don't see the two Singh brothers getting involved and then he hits the Kalas and then pins him like he did to Jinder like 18 times in a row?
Brock is not losing to Jinder.
Oh, no. He can't.
There's enough. I think there's enough money to make it happen, though.
Oh my god.
Get
No.
the fuck out of here.
Ryan, I'm
kind of with Ryan. I'm with Ryan on this one. I was thinking the same thing.
Ryan, if that happens, I'm going to light a cigar and
Fuck
put it
outta
out in
here.
your eye.
Me too.
I didn't say I wanted it.
Put it in your other eye.
No.
Convince Brock to do it.
You just have to pay him.
You'd be like, "Hey, Brock, here's all this money. Eat a pin."
You know, I'd be into this match if it was like a unification and then Brock, unified the titles.
Yeah, but it's non-title, so it literally does nothing for nobody.
It's fucking stupid, I think.
It does do something for somebody if Jinder gets the win. That's the thing.
Yes, that is the thing, but it's the other thing is it's Brock Lesnar. Do we need? Okay, 2017 is a weird year. We've had a weird calendar year. The Cubs won the World Series, and we've had the NBA. They came back from a 3-0 deficit and all this. A lot of real weird things happened.
What?
Trump beat Hillary. The NBA Finals. There was somebody came down behind like a 3-0.
Came back from that 3-game deficit.
Yeah, so a lot of very improbable things have happened in 2017, 2016.
Jinder Mahal became the champion.
Right, so I can't put it out of the realm of possibility because it is a match that's happening, so technically that is a possible finish. Why? What does that do? That means it took nobody's pinned Brock Lesnar in how long, and it took 3 guys to do it.
Since last Survivor Series,
Yes,
actually.
Goldberg.
Since
But
Goldberg,
if
right?
you just do a DQ, like a DQ.
Yeah, look, you can't have Brock survive Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman, but yet somehow can't get past Jinder and the Singh brothers? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this would have been a good Money in the Bank cash-in opportunity if there was still one on SmackDown. Which
that would be.
Yeah, there's not, because this would be a perfect opportunity for Jinder to be laid out, and then someone just comes in and pins him, and we can move on.
Literally suplex him out of his boots.
I'd almost rather have all the Raw champions versus all the SmackDown champions in an elimination match instead
of singles matches. Yeah, because there are some heel versus heel matches that people booed. They just booed the matchup because it's two heels. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who do you cheer for? What do you want?
You could change up the titles between now and then.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that Miz could lose his belt to someone.
Right. I mean, we've got a lot of time between now and then. I was trying to find the picture.
I don't like all these singles matches.
Yeah,
it doesn't belong in a Survivor Series. Yeah.
Survivor Series is for Survivor Series matches. It's not just there, and that's the shitty thing is they're building it up for 2 Survivor Series matches. And I know 2 is probably enough, but back in my day, and I'm going to sound real old. Back in my day, we had like 5 Survivor Series matches. Yeah. And one of them would be a 10-on-10, 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams because they had 10 tag teams.
Yeah. Well, the first ever solo match wasn't until the Gravis Challenge between Taker and Hogan. Otherwise, the pay-per-view was always just the Survivor Series match.
And then they had the Soul Survivor match. They only did it once, but I really liked that, where they had to eliminate the people who survived.
Yep.
So,
but they had team names. They had team captains. They had
right. It wasn't just Raw and SmackDown. It was the Visionaries and
intertwined.
The Warriors and the Dream Team,
the $1 Million Team, the Perfect Team,
the Mega Maniacs. Yep, the Perfect Team.
The Warriors.
The Warriors was the best team.
Yep.
The Warriors was probably hands down, if that was ever a faction, would run shit. Because it was the Ultimate Warrior, the Modern Day Warrior, Kerry Von Erich, and the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. If that was, imagine them transported to 2017. Nobody else would win a match. It would be bigger than the Shield. That's a good faction. I don't know why that never materialized beyond Survivor Series. Maybe because Hawk and Animal just loved drugs. So
they did love Eric,
and you know what? All 4. You know what? That's what they're all perfect. They all love drugs. They could have just stayed on the same team. That could have been the alternate name of the team. Is just drugs.
I mean, shit. Animal's the only one that's still around.
That's true, and he actually looks good. I think he cut out all that shit.
Uncle Animal.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Uncle Animal. I'm waiting for the kid. I'm waiting for Joe to leave football. I know he's got a good career going on right now, but I know there's going to be a point he's going to leave football and he's going to be wrestling. His son. Because Roman Reigns did it, but I mean, Roman Reigns only made it to like the Canadian League, I think. But,
right.
Like The Rock. Rock made it to the CFL.
Yeah.
He was a decent football player.
You know what's weird though? You almost picture that these people's offsprings are going to be as big, like
right, and that's not necessarily the case.
As them. I'm not talking about like fame. I'm talking about like Vader's son.
Nice.
You would think he'd be like Vader, like a little Vader, but he wasn't. You know?
Remember Terry Gordy's son, Ray Gordy, and he was paired up with Festus Biscuits.
He was Jesse of Jesse and Festus.
Yeah, Biscuits and Gravy, man. I love that song.
Biscuits and Gravy.
Yeah, it's a good song. That's a good entrance theme. Thank you, Jim Johnson. He was small. Bam Bam was a big dude, and he was not big. So yeah, it's not necessarily that they're going to be same. Even Cody. Look at the difference between Dusty and Dustin and Cody. He didn't get that body type.
Probably a good thing he didn't get Dusty's body.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you never know. You could look. Listen, we all start looking like our dads the older we get, so that might just be inevitable for him. That's like the Samoans. They always get a little around the middle there, a little spare tire as they get older. The Rock never did because he's got a good mix there. You know what I mean? He's got the best of both worlds. And,
also had surgery on it.
Yeah, he also had the double mastectomy breast reduction surgery thing.
That helps.
And I'm sure that he's no longer talking to Triple H as much, but he certainly enjoys HGH. If you've seen the size.
The double H.
Yeah, when he's talking about going to see his friend H, it's not exactly what
Dude's bigger in his movies than he ever was when he wrestled.
Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When he was in Pain and Gain, he looked like that fucking Pokemon that's just a rock with arms. Like he looked like a literal rock.
He's so big. Even in Baywatch.
Yep, he got big for back big again for Baywatch. I'm gonna pull up a picture of Pain and Gain Rock because he was a large man in that movie. Yeah, all you got to do is put in Pain and Gain Rock, and like pictures come up of him gassed up like I said, he looks like a boulder. Let me pull it up so we don't have to look at Avril Lavigne. No, we don't have Avril Lavigne anymore. He was large.
A little bit.
Just
Oh my
inflated.
God.
Like he doesn't walk around. He doesn't walk around that big. He was playing like a personal trainer, bodybuilder guy in that movie. He just got real big, and then
Jesus.
Then he gets so cut for a role in like Fast and the Furious when he plays that guy. He's like cut more like a police officer would be. Good for him for keeping up. I mean, he's in his 40s now.
Where he dies in like the first 5 minutes from jumping off.
Oh, the other guys.
The other guys.
Aim for the bushes. That was it was Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock, and they were like the best cops in the precinct.
That was great.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good one to watch.
I love that. We'll tuck and roll.
What were they? And then they just cut to Marky Mark, and he's like, "What were they doing? They just jumped. Why would they jump? Say hi to your mother for me." Okay, Mark, calm down. It's a desk pop. Oh my God, that was. You never done a desk pop?
I love that movie.
Will Ferrell fires out the gun. Desk pop. Woo!
I like Michael Keaton as
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
You gotta let me fly. Michael Keaton as the sergeant. He kept doing
the TLC songs.
Yes.
He was so distraught.
You doing that? Literally? Are you purposely doing it? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what TLC is. What are you talking about?
I want to see that movie in Birdman. I haven't seen it.
Birdman was.
I heard that's good.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. Whatever.
You didn't?
I've gotten mixed. It's gotten mixed reviews from people. Like I've gotten both responses when I asked people about Birdman. So I wasn't sure.
I loved it.
Hey, we have a couple questions, right? We
should probably talk about wrestling. Let's answer some wrestling questions.
Welcome to the conspiracy and movie hour.
Listen, I think our people who watch wrestling watch other things. They're going to be aware.
And if not, now they know that Avril Lavigne might have been killed and switched around.
Right, and they're growing a clone of Roman Reigns at Titan Towers in Stamford.
It's all the Illuminati.
Yeah, and it is. It all boils down to the Illuminati controls every aspect of our lives and is constantly watching us. So
there you go. The more you know.
If we're gonna talk wrestling stuff and everything, can we please post up that mother's comment about
last
night? Please.
Somebody send that through to me again. Send the screenshot again so I can save it.
Give me 1 second.
As a mother, I want to tear this woman apart. I swear to God.
I got a good laugh off it.
We need to read to the people, our listeners, what this lady said, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Scroll down to see new messages. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna share it on the screen so we can all take a looky look. Boom.
God.
So, Raw is officially under siege by SmackDown Live, and our new friend Mary Dunn.
You are done.
Any relation to Kevin Dunn?
Yeah, she's from Well Done, the early '90s tag team.
Oh, jeez.
Just canceled my network subscription to WWE. My subscription to WWE New York. Watching the end of Raw. I'm dyslexic, sorry. It's a learning disability. You can't discriminate against me. Watching the end of Raw and very disappointed in this storyline. What kind of example is this for the kids who love and admire WWE wrestlers? Have enjoyed many storylines in the past, but this was not fun or entertaining in any way. And somehow she missed out on the NWO.
Are you new to wrestling? Like,
DX driving a tank to Monday Nitro. And,
Did she miss Carmella carrying James Ellsworth around on a leash? Or what other recent ones?
The WCW Invasion, they had something like this.
There's a guy named Goldust who's been wrestling for 20 years.
Yes,
that guy.
but here's the other thing. Okay, how old is your kid that this is such a problem?
Yeah.
But how can...
I mean, if you're talking about a kid like Autumn's age, she went to bed, and then I let her watch it this morning because she doesn't stay up till 11 o'clock at night when she's got school.
Yeah.
So how old was your kid that you were so disappointed on it last night that you either didn't edit it or you watched it live with? I don't get it. It's like, you're stupid. Sorry.
But what was... Here's the thing.
Past 11, yeah, you're right.
What was offensive about it?
Nothing.
I don't know. Nothing?
Was it that there were baby faces like the New Day and Becky Lynch being involved? I don't understand.
The only thing I could think of that she probably is even having something about is because maybe like it was 10 people on 1 or 2 people.
Yeah, the gang mentality.
The gang mentality.
Get
but
over
even
yourself.
still, it's a storyline. Get the fuck over it.
Wrestling.
Wasn't there
Yeah.
literally in the late 90s gang wars with Los
Yeah, and all these
Boricuas
factions and shit.
Yeah.
and the Nation
Yeah.
of Domination?
Los Boricuas.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was...
Mhm.
They had
NWO.
heads. Yeah.
Or
The
when
NWO was a gang.
DX dressed up as the
DX was a gang.
Nation.
Nexus.
The Mexicools were a gang, if you want to get
Yeah.
technical. Jeez.
With lawnmowers, but
Right? Well, that's the
They
most
could do a
dangerous
lot
weapon
with
anybody's
lawnmowers.
ever brought to a ring. Imagine if they ran somebody over with that. They could lose a finger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um,
That'd be
But whatever
so
her problem is ridiculous. It's
Basically-
absolutely ridiculous.
Mary Dunn stinks. They're glad to have lost her $10 a month.
Mary
Dunn,
Dunn
you're
asked-
done.
They're no
You're
worse
done.
off than they were hours ago when I first saw this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You're also not understanding the concept of storytelling. Obviously, there's going to be a continuation of this and there's going to be a resolution. The people who are behind the attack will explain their intentions or their reasons behind the attack. And if you go on social media, they already have. This is the middle part of the story where you've got an antagonist and a protagonist, or in this case, multiple antagonists and multiple protagonists that are in conflict.
Choose
We're
your
watching
poison,
professional
basically.
wrestling. It's literally a show about conflict. If there were not 2 people fighting, the show would not exist. As much as there were promos and commercials and pink t-shirts and all that other bullshit, at the end of the day, what they do is they put 1 or 2 people in a ring against another 1 or 2 people, and then they fight. Like, that's the plot of the show, is they fight.
You know what? Let's get this straight. So last night was a problem, and what they did last night was a huge problem. But the Shield and Kurt Angle on a 5-on-3 the night before was okay?
Or Kane
Throwing someone in-
literally murdering Braun Strowman?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literal
Exactly.
murder.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's about 20 chairs that got pulled down and landed on Braun before he got thrown.
Right.
Yeah,
the
they recycled that
Long
spot.
battles, man.
Yeah.
By the man running for mayor.
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
Wade Barrett's ears were burning.
Yeah, that's
They
some
reached-
bad news.
They
Yeah.
repeated that. They
When
dumped that one
when they
out
did that,
of
I'm
the
thinking,
archive.
oh, Wade Barrett, they did that.
Literally
Yeah.
burying the Nexus.
But that was okay because I
Right.
guess maybe she's Team Raw.
Braun
So maybe
deserved,
that's what
Braun
brought this whole
deserved it.
thing.
He was asking for it.
Yeah.
It was what he was
Oh, God.
wearing, you know?
Should have
you
dressed
sound like
up so
Harvey Weinstein.
provocatively with those.
You're right, he should have been more conservative with the way he dressed, and he wouldn't have been thrown in a garbage truck.
It's the color blue.
Exactly. He brought it all on it. He did it all himself. That's right.
Jeez.
Fucking
Maybe
So
she's
yeah, Mary
secretly a part of
Dunn
the
is
blood.
awful, and if you're gonna stop watching wrestling over this, I hope when you watch The Walking Dead on Sunday and Rick let a bunch
Don't
of
say
walkers.
anything!
I'm sorry, but here's all right. I will stop it. I will stop what I'm saying, but you understand my point.
She took out her earpiece.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I stopped. But what the gist of what I'm saying is Rick is a good guy. Rick has to do some bad things in order to make good things happen for his people. So if you're going to be watching WWE this closely for like moral superiority or some sort of moral compass, look to the other shows that you may or may not be watching and realize that their moral compass is probably way more off. At least this kind of makes sense, where these people are putting aside their differences for the sake of their brand and their team and being more superior. Dolph Ziggler said it in his video. I don't care about teams or brands. I care about money. And if I win, I make more money. So if that means SmackDown needs to win. That means I'm on SmackDown's side. So everybody's got their own motivations. Becky Lynch wants to show she's the best woman on that side. So what better way than to beat some of the women on Raw who are considered maybe better than the SmackDown girls? There's depth to this story. It's not just black and white. It's not just
it's red and blue.
Right, yeah, it's red and blue. It's the Crips versus the Bloods.
But that's what's just so stupid, because she's saying it was on behalf of her kid. Then don't let your kid watch wrestling.
Yeah, why
your kid can't handle that?
Look what
Watching
happened
at 11 o'clock at night.
to your kids.
Exactly. But if you're isolating your kid so much like that, I mean, I'm sorry, your kid sees worse on the playground at school.
I bet you the kid's name.
The kids.
He's like 14, 15 years old. His name is Dylan. He wears 3XL t-shirts over a thermal with fingerless gloves, and he brushes his greasy hair into his face. Okay, he's a big fan of the Shield, and his mom lets him stay up until 11:15 and drink Mountain Dew because she has no control over him. So when she sees something like this, the only control she has is to complain to WWE. She has nothing going on in her life better than to write a paragraph about how she's unsubscribing. Just unsubscribe and leave a bad review, you dumb bitch.
Or don't watch Raw. The network has nothing to do with Raw.
Right, exactly. Well,
Exactly.
cancel your cable subscription, you dumbass. Yeah,
because actually, if you
USA
can't,
Network.
the wholesome wrestling that she misses is actually on the network.
Yeah, if you want to watch some shit, that's where you want to go. You put on some old WCW. They couldn't even say foreign object. That's how unoffensive they were trying.
I don't like to use this word at all, but Mary, you're a cunt.
Oh, he said it!
You just dropped it.
Oh, he
Good night, everybody.
Do you realize we probably were all thinking the same thing, but weren't going to say it? And he actually, wow! He said.
Actually, I wanted to call her a twat waffle.
There you go. That's a good
I
one.
like that one too.
He just
That's a good
one.
Oh, Mary, you're a cunt. Oh, he just said it. He was no bones about it. Whew.
I
I
love
was
you,
listening
Eric.
to George Carlin earlier. He inspired me.
George Carlin would have definitely said that to her.
Yeah.
There were only 7 words you couldn't say on television, according to him.
And I'm going to say all 7.
That would be great if somebody just kicked off Raw that way.
Or
Oh,
like,
Paul
Heyman, that would be amazing.
or like DX. These are the words we will not say.
You can
Watch your
say,
fucking mouth.
it's like you can say the batter's got 3 balls on him, but you can't say that pitch hit him right in the balls.
I got grapefruits.
Hey,
have
so
tater
why don't we tackle those questions? We have a couple
Yeah, do we have
questions. right?
any questions before we?
Yes, we actually have 2. We have 2 this week.
Excellent. Before we
Well,
turn
actually,
to
we-
SmackDown Live.
We kind of went into the first one before we went on the air, which is actually pretty funny, but I guess we'll still address it anyway.
What was that?
You missed it, Vince. But anyway, the question was, do we think that, and actually this came from Micah in North Dakota, so
Mike
there
in
was a real
North
name
Dakota.
behind it.
Fargo,
Mhm.
eh? All right.
The question was, do we think because the camaraderie between Shane and Kurt with what happened for TLC will lead into SmackDown that they'll still be friendly? Obviously, we know the answer to that one. That question came in before Raw last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
But it was still pretty funny that it came in.
Yeah.
And then Jessica from San Diego asked us, besides Chris Benoit, Elizabeth, and Owen Hart, who do we think should be in the should be in the Hall of Fame that is deserving?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
So we're making it like a 2-part question, because who do we think maybe would get in, that deserves to get in but may not get in, or just who should we think should be in?
I think some of the old school heels are a little underappreciated. Guys like Ox Baker and Bull Curry, who not a lot of people might know out of the New York area, but in the WWF and beyond, those 2 guys were big deals. Ox Baker was an escape from New York. Bull Curry, both Bull and Ox are kind of Connecticut natives, so I'm a homer for those guys, and I think they deserve the world. But seriously, they were big-time heels, and I think if you go back it's right now we're at a point where you've got guys like, sure, Stone Cold, Rock. You're looking at those guys like, oh, they could go in. It's been 20 years, but maybe go back a little further to see who doesn't from the old days, because they have that legacy award now. They've given out like a legacy Hall of Fame to some classic wrestlers. It's not part of the main induction ceremony. It's like a separate thing they do. So it's still an opportunity to honor guys like that. So maybe that would be a good spot for guys like Bull and Ox. But
I got to go with China.
Yeah. I mean, she was, despite how things ended between WWE and her.
That's a matter of time.
Yeah. Well, it's really her conduct outside of WWE that's affecting her status within the Hall of Fame, unfortunately.
But did that come out?
No, it has to do with Stephanie and Hunter. Give me a break.
Yeah, but she was also a noted porn star and drug addict.
But wasn't X-Pac in the porn with her? And like,
so was Sunny. What's your points? What about everything that Tammy did and Tammy got in? What's your point?
Wasn't Tammy
no offense, Sunny.
No,
really afterwards?
No, she got in a lot of trouble beforehand.
Sunny did a lot of things with a lot of people, both before and after Chris Candido died.
And before her induction, she had already had a couple. No, but she had been arrested a couple of times before she got inducted. Yeah. Her record was there before the induction.
See, and where was Mary Dunn then? I'm unsubscribing from WWE 24/7 on my cable provider. Whoa. She said,
I don't even think the WWE network was. I don't think the WWE network was even around when Tammy.
She went to WWE.com and clicked "Contact Us" because there was no Facebook. God.
He wrote a very strongly noted letter.
Yeah, she had 37 cents for postage, and she mailed a handwritten letter.
Ass with it.
Mary Dunn, you're fired. Wait, I actually do have that on my soundboard. I should just play it for Mary Dunn.
Yes.
He had the glasses right on his nose reading it.
He's just reading the letter, flips through, and he's like,
"Yeah,
that just made my night.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Patterson comes walking in. Vince, you can't fire her. She doesn't have a job.
He sends then he sends her a contract in the mail, and as soon as she signs it,
yep,
she comes back.
Call this number when you
right
agree.
She's not getting the Warrior Award.
She's not getting the Warrior. That's the conversation. He goes,
"Oh, listen, Mary, you've been such a big influence on our social media. We'd like to offer you a job as a social media consultant on what we should or shouldn't do for our storylines. Do you accept?"
"Oh yes, absolutely, I accept."
Yeah.
As soon as she accepts it,
instant turnaround.
Or have The Rock cut her off and say, "It doesn't matter."
So, Mary, what do you think? It doesn't matter what you think.
All right. So, what was that question? Who was it from, and who can we thank before we head out of here for the night?
What the heck? Sorry, some kid just screamed coming out of my room. Sorry.
Was it one of yours, or do we have to call the police?
No, it was one of mine. It's okay. It's one of the Mighty Four.
Oh, geez. All right.
Someone's probably drop kicking somebody.
It's one of the Incredibles.
That was Samantha from San Diego.
Thank you, Samantha from San Diego, for your question. So we would be remiss if we didn't mention best question of the month gets a pick in our WrestleRumble.com pick'em. WrestleRumble.com, TagMeADate is a proud partner and sponsor of WrestleRumble.com. And
there's going to be a big weekend for Survivor Series and War Games.
That's what I want to hear. So there's a double pick'em weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So go to WrestleRumble.com for all that information, because we will give a free pick to our question of the month. And is there anything else we need to address before we head out this evening?
I think that's about
We've
it.
covered a lot.
We covered a broad span of stuff. I guess we should hit the outro.
Biscuits and gravy.
So we can have some music in the background of our outro.
Oh, biscuits and gravy.
Just enjoy this.
Next week we open with Jimmy Wang Yang.
Next, Jimmy Wang Yang Jimmy Wang Yang has a party bus service now. He drives people around in his redneck party bus. You can rent one from him. But this has been the War Report, usually wrestling podcast. This week, maybe not so much, but cover broad spectrum. We are here live every Tuesday on YouTube. It's brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for wrestling fans. With a roster of over 50,000, yes, you heard me right, 50,000 superstars and divas. Sign up for free today to find your tag team match at TagMeADate.com. And if you're enjoying the War Report, please go to our YouTube page. It's TagMeADate. Go to YouTube.com, type in TagMeADate, and search bar TagMeADate. Squish it all together. You'll find a TagMeADate channel where you can subscribe, you can like our videos, hit the bell if you want to be notified on your mobile device when we upload a video or go live. You can just tune in on YouTube, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Dial. And just go to that YouTube channel, TagMeADate. You'll see the live stream link. Click on it, and you can enjoy the show. You can also browse our archive of the last couple years of TagMeADate. I know an anniversary is coming up. Are we having another podcast anniversary soon?
Yeah, it's our 3-year anniversary.
When's that?
Sometime in December.
I was going to say like early December or so.
Early December.
Excellent. So we're going to have some big show, really big show for that day. Stay tuned for what that might be on the War Report. We'll go live next Tuesday, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Dial. And on behalf of everybody here, WrestleRumble.com and TagMeADate.com, I'm Vince Barry. Hope you enjoyed listening to the War Report. We will see you next week.